Well, old Chompy's back. He went back to Mississippi. Uh, we didn't really want him to do that, but he was angry about what all the things that was going on. So he said he was going back, and he said he wasn't worried about the hit on by Ashlee Cole. Because here's the thing. They know his name. And that's it. But now let's talk about one more issue here. We were talking about, Chompy, somebody wanted to cut his nuts off. Remember? Okay. So we kind of found that out a little bit, and so we had to straighten things out. We had some other information. We had to sift through that, and we had to, kind of sort it out. And what we found out is this: Chompy's doing a lot of, you know how he does it. So what he said, Dr. Hudson, Benjamin Hudson, we were talking about a pimp. Well, he's not the pimp, okay? Well, the so-called the pimp is Big Ben. That's what he goes by, And we're gonna go with everything where he's at and this and that. We got it all the info. Okay, so Big Ben was the guy that wanted to cut Chompy's nuts off. Why? Why? Because seems that Big Ben, he sort of like, I guess he's a pimp, and what he thought was he mistakenly thought that Chompy was trying to move in on his territory or some crazy shit, but Chompy was there investigating. Now he's back. So so this Big Ben, he said, you trying to go invade my territory, I'm gonna have to cut your nuts off. Well, not a good deal. Okay, so we had to talk to Big Ben. We had to straighten all some shit out, because hey, you gonna try to do something to us, maybe we might have to do something to you. So we kind of got an understanding there. So that's been resolved, and Chompy's back to down in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and he's doing some work, and we're gonna get at it right now. Okay, now first thing we were thinking now. There's a street called Government Street. All right, that's the big street in Ocean Springs. We in it. We gonna get with it. Okay. Now we think Ashlee Cole, she's a regular on Government Street. It's got everything. The restaurants. The bars. Nightclubs. Everything. You see what I'm saying? We talked about the double life. She's having a ball, doing all that. Unknown. Okay. Okay. Now, what she likes to do, she likes to go to this place on Government Street called the Juke Joint. It's a place at the address is like 1911 Government Street. Okay, so that's where she likes to go. A lot of stuff there. What they say. It's a lot of action. There's rumors that there's opioid sales. A lot of solicitation, sex wise. And drugs, cocaine, opioids, she might be, we said she might be, doing a little of that, because she's got it, she can get it from right? The dope doctor. Okay. All right, so here's the thing. We also think that Dr. Hudson, the Larynx eater, you heard it, the Larynx eater. Well, he's out on he goes there too. He frequents this one place on Government Street, and we Chompy knows what that is because he investigated. He got that. So it's called the barbecue joint Murky Waters. It's a barbecue joint. Everybody says it's good, great, to eat and all that. I don't know if Chompy ate, but he's working. And he's angry. That's why he's got this full report, man. He's got okay. So he's got the address is 1312 Government Street. Okay, so as we look, Ashlee she was at this place on 1911 Government Street, and Dr. Hudson, the Larynx eater, he's at this place at 1312 Government Street. This is what we. So what that says is they're not together. Well, we kind of thought that, they're kind of playing these roles and all, so they really don't want to be together. Here at this on Government Street. That's the big spot, everything. Okay, so all right, so like I said, he's been spotted there at the barbecue joint. There's blues bands and all that kind of stuff. The killer is having a good time. We said that, because he thinks he's got away with everything, and we know why. Okay, so what we say? Well, they say it's all there on Government Street. That's the big spot, and there's a lot of illegal stuff going on there too, and we Chompy has checked that out too, so and he's kind of like, he kind of disguises himself, things like that, so kind of. He was just worried about getting his nuts cut off, and that's been resolved. Big Ben is out the picture. We don't know what he's doing, but we know he's not wanting to cut somebody's nuts off. So good. Okay, so now that he's out of the picture, we had to find out some more things. Okay. So here we go. Now here's we got another guy. In Ocean Springs. Chompy's lieutenant or whatever you want to call him. But he does a lot of good work too. Okay, he does a lot of good work in the background. Chompy too. Just one little. I don't know what he said. It was a one little error. That's what he said, Okay. But like we said, all they knew was his name, so if he puts a mustache on or some shit, So he's there, okay. So we know, we looking at this, we know that there's a lot of illegal activity going on Government Street. Okay. But, we gotta kind of focus. because what Choppy has found out now, this is really a big deal, you know. Okay, so he's been working, you know. He says through investigations, Ashlee Cole was palling up with Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter. You heard that? We saw him. Choppy saw him. Where did he see him? He saw him at this little restaurant. They call it the Lady May. Okay. Now it's not on Government Street. It's on a street called Washington Street. It's right around the corner. I think it says 708 Washington Street. So Ashlee Cole and Ledbetter, they met at this it's a fried chicken. They said Southern, you know, cooking and all that stuff, you know. So they met there. He found that out. Nobody else. Okay, so what are they doing there? Okay. They say fried chicken plates are the number one thing there. Okay. So Ledbetter, let's talk about that. That lazy son of a bitch. Now, he's the guy that at the very beginning said no crime. You know, I'm going fishing. Going fishing. No crime. So what we want to know is what's going on with him and Ashlee, you know, at this little restaurant, you know. What, they having an affair or something? You know, they seemed a little friendly, reported. So we kind of thinking about that, but it might be about something else. You know. Now we say here that Dr. Ben Hudson killed Nolan Rails. So, and Ashlee, she knows that. Let's remember now, he told her, you better eat some of this throat. I'm going to kill you too. Yeah. So, you know, hey, what they're saying, that, well, I got in to eat there, you know. So, you know, they were eating chicken and all that garbage, you know. So they were doing a lot of talking, though. You know, we got a lot of notes, so we kind of. So Ledbetter and Cole, Ashlee Cole, were doing a lot of talking. We don't know about, we had no tape or nothing like that, but yeah. So that's interesting because we kind of wondering about, you know, that madman, you know, he threatened to kill once. Shit, if you want to kill once, you're going to do it again. Hey, we got him, y'all. Y'all know that. Okay, so now we was looking, you know, around on Government Street, all the activity, you know, there's a lot of shit going on. Dope shit, sex. Government Street, you know, it's a big deal. Bustling, as they say, like the New York City shit in Ocean Springs, small town, you know. Thing. But let's talk about some cops. Now around Government Street, it's a whole bunch of docile ass cops. They look like they're doing shit, but they're really not. They're looking away at just the right time. Right before, right when the dope but shit, right when the illegal shit is being done, They turn their head or something. Hey. Maybe they're drugged up, whatever, you know. They don't want to do anything to stop, you know, the illegal activity. Yeah, that's what we say, you know. So let's say, about the Ledbetter again. No, remember now, we all know this. He was kind of helping them from the very start. Cold and all that shit. When he said, no crime, going fishing, going fishing. Yeah. Going fishing. That's what he said. You know, so he is the sheriff though of Ocean Springs. Now he's the sheriff of Jackson County, but he covers that, you know. So that's his watch. What were Ledbetter and Cole talking about? You know, were they talking about what Dr. Hudson did, which is murder, and she knows, you know? Or, you know, what were they talking about? Something else, another plan. You know, I don't know. Is Ashlee trying to get out of there, trying to leave home? And she's going to Ledbetter for help. You know, 'cause he probably scared to death of that goddamn Lawrence eater. He's a madman now. He's a killer. He said he's going to kill everybody in the family. I think a whole lot of people scared of Dr. Hudson. Hey, we said that. Okay? So, I think Ashlee wants to get away from him. Remember now, he made her eat that goddamn throat. He made her eat some of that. That was Andre. Yeah, so she probably want to get away from him. Maybe this. Maybe they were talking about kind of making Ben Hudson confess to the murder of Nolan Wales. Okay? Yeah. Maybe they were talking about maybe talking some sense in. Oh, I don't know. I say they're scared, so, I don't know. Maybe they thinking about running away together. Ledbetter and Cole. No, this is a dirty ass town. So maybe they think about that. Leaving him, the murderer in the dust. She's out. Ledbetter, he don't give a damn. He ain't working, All right, so are they running away? Before the walls start crumbling and violence starts, okay, in Mississippi, because we think it's coming. It's still, and it's a violent town anyway. So we're kind of wrapping it up. But all the information you just heard is new information, and we found it out. See, we think Cole and Ledbetter are kind of plotting on Hudson, because she knows he killed Nolan Wales, and all the other shit that happened, with the eating and stroking shit and all that, So let's see. Okay, so We're saying we know Dr. Hudson is the murderer, okay? And now we kind of thinking maybe Ashlee Cole wants to get away from the murderer before she gets killed. I don't know about the kids, his son, he might have told him, hey, if you ever think about leaving, I'll cut your head off. I don't know. He's a madman. So we're about ready to wrap it up on Real Life Live. I hope you got all the information, the latest information that we just got out. And like we say, y'all, Chompy's back to work. What do you think? A lot of work there. And I think we're still on the case better than anybody else. It's Real Life Live.